Message to the team after this one?
Some things are supposed to be left in the locker room. The big picture, the resilience to the way we responded in the second half is something I'm proud of. I thought they really fought through that half, no matter what was going on. It didn't feel that way in the first half, and so the response is something that you're proud of. You want to grow and not put yourself in that position. And, this team is admirable in the way that they handle things. We get backs in the corner, we're going to respond. That's something I've been really proud of today. But we got to try not to put our backs in the corner with things that we can control. Certainly the turnovers and the ability to handle pressure and them converting pressure into baskets was a huge factor in the game. We didn't do that well either half, but we handled mistakes as a team collectively a lot better in the second half, and that allowed us to get back in the game.
How tough of a game was it for Landers, given that he played here and everything going into this loud and all that stuff?
I think that sometimes you got to take a step back and realize he's a passionate person with a big heart, and he cares a lot about Memphis. He spent 2 years of his life here. He cares a lot about this university and this program. And so, I've noticed that both games we played them this year, that's been not necessarily a challenge, but it affects him because he cares and he's a human being. I thought in the second half he settled down a little bit and played really well and helped us make the run to get back in the game. But there's no doubt somebody that has that kind of passion and care that it's going to be a factor. It doesn't have to be a negative factor, but it's just going to be a factor because he cares.
You mentioned settling down. Is that what the whole team needed to do in the first half of the turnovers, or was there something else you wish they would have done to maybe avoid something?
There's a lot of things with the press. Number one, you got to be stronger with the ball, or with the turnovers, I should say. Some of them are not against the full court press, but number one, we got to be stronger with the ball. Like, how many times does the ball get poked loose when we have it secured with two hands, or when we're dribbling the ball? I mean, it just gets poked loose. You got to be stronger with it. Number two, you got to go after it with two hands. Like, there's some passes where we don't go meet the pass, and we allow somebody to kind of shoot through the passing lane and create a deflection and a steal. Number three, you got to execute press offense away from the ball to give your teammate the best opportunity to deal with pressure. And we practiced that for a couple of days, and it didn't execute that well tonight. So, there's a lot of factors to the turnovers, and we didn't, obviously, with 22, handle it extremely poorly.
You hung with some very, very good teams. And do you take anything from that? I mean, everyone hates losing. I think a lot of people on pins and needles when they bank that thing in.
Well, that was only 0.4 at that point.
Right.
But I wish somebody had reached in and fouled him and said, shoot, now get a chance to tie it. No, I mean, I think we've proven we can play with it. I think you can look at the games and we can play with anybody, everybody. You got to grow to be able to get over the hump to beat anybody and everybody. I think we're capable of that. I think we've proven we can be right there. We got to get a couple possessions better.
Odie got some crunch time minutes tonight. What have you seen over the past month or so from him that has just allowed him to blossom on the floor?
He's really improved as a player. Not in one way, in all kinds of ways. He's improved defensively. I mean, this is the same young man that we sat in the office in our end of the year meeting last year, and I told him the biggest issue with you playing more is we're a bad defensive team when you're on the court. He was a good role threat in the spread ball last year, and at times that was really good, but defensively, we're terrible with you in the game. He had numbers to back that up. Now he's out here guarding the best front court player on the other team, back-to-back games. And he's guarding multiple positions. Obviously, he's not finishing well there in a stretch in January. He just kind of stays with it. Now he's finishing at an extremely high level. I think he's really worked on his body. I think he's matured a lot mentally. I think he's worked on his game. And he probably does his job and plays his role more consistently than anybody on the team, just doing what you're supposed to do, and good things happen when you do it.
Malcolm, Dandridge, and Alex Lomax didn't play the first time you guys met. What did they do tonight on the defensive end that really impacted this game?
Wow, I got to look at the stats. I'm not sure how many minutes the Dangerous played.
I think it was 12.
You know, with him in the game, they're not going to switch. If they do, you might have a little bit more of an advantage. So that's a game plan to take advantage of that. I'm not sure we did that really well because he moves his feet about as well as any guy his size I've seen. You know that there's a different kind of low post threat with him, and he was able to get to the foul line, if I'm not mistaken. Stat sheet, he's able to kind of put pressure on the rim, put pressure on the post, and get to the foul line. And then, Lomax is such a game-changing player for their team because he may be one of the best, maybe the best on-the-ball defender in the country, and not just mano-a-mano, but then he makes plays, getting deflections and steals. And I haven't looked at how many he had steal-wise, but it felt like he had 35 for that. So he was all over the damn place.
I think he had 3.
He has 3, and DeAndre Williams has 5. So 2 really, really elite defensive players, and they're running, jumping, scrambling. Lomax creates a lot of problems defensively for you, for sure.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.